Breaking news now, the Washington Post announces House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will announce a formal impeachment inquiry against President Trump. Let's go right to Jessica Smith now in D.C. with the very latest. Jessica, what do we know?
Well, we expect this announcement to happen at 5 o'clock this evening after Speaker Pelosi meets with the Democratic caucus. As you mentioned, the Washington Post is reporting that she is set to announce a formal impeachment inquiry of President Trump. She's speaking now at the Atlantic Festival here in Washington, and she has hinted at this. She hasn't come out and said it outright, but she has talked about this situation with the president as he has reportedly pressured the Ukrainian president to investigate Joe Biden and his son. There were those reports yesterday that the president held funding from Ukraine, but right before he had that call with the president. And that is what really seems to have turned the tide. We've seen moderate Democrats who have been holding back on calls for impeachment start to say that they are on board with this process. And now Speaker Pelosi, according to the Washington Post, set to formally announce the impeachment inquiry is going to begin. She is set to meet with chairmen of key committees and then the entire Democratic caucus later this afternoon. And then after that, we do expect to hear from her at 5 o'clock this evening. Of course, we'll keep you updated on everything that comes from that.
And nothing yet from Trump's Twitter feed. I guess he did tweet just a short time ago that he's going to release the phone conversation he had with the Ukraine president, but it may be too late.
Right. Nothing since we saw this report saying that the formal inquiry is coming. But we did see him just moments before that say that he would release the full transcript tomorrow, and he noted that there was no quid pro quo. But Pelosi addressed that tweet at the Atlantic Festival and said that's not necessarily a key factor. You don't have to have the quid pro quo. She said it's the sequencing. If you're threatening to hold funds and then you're pressuring him to investigate Biden, she says that sequencing is important because the president's words carry so much weight.
We'll be watching and listening at 5 p.m. Eastern. Thanks so much, Jessica Smith in D.C.